What if I told you there are entire civilizations gone without a trace, sunken cities, forgotten continents, vanished beneath the waves? Were they real or warnings etched into myth? These are 7 lost worlds swallowed by the sea. For thousands of years, the sea has kept its secrets. Beneath the surface lie the ruins of stories long buried, whispers of greatness, pride, and sudden destruction. Let's dive into the myths, the mysteries, the lost civilizations of the deep. Number 7. Vineta, the Baltic's sunken treasure. Beneath the cold waters of the Baltic Sea lies a secret. This is the legend of Vineta, the Atlantis of the North. Picture this. 1,000 years ago, when Europe was young and wild, there stood a city that dazzled the medieval world. Vineta, a jewel on the Baltic coast, where merchant ships from distant lands crowded the harbors, and gold flowed like water through the streets. Larger than Paris, wealthier than London, more powerful than any city of its time. The chronicler Adam of Bremen called it the greatest port in the known world. But power corrupts. The people of Vineta grew proud, arrogant. They mocked the gods, ignored divine warnings, and believed their wealth made them untouchable. They were wrong. Whether by earthquake, tidal wave, or divine judgment, the sea came to collect its due. In a single night, or perhaps over many, Vineta was swallowed by the Baltic waves, gone, vanished, lost beneath the depths. But legends never truly die. Fishermen say that on quiet nights you can still hear them, the bells of Vineta ringing from beneath the waves. Today, archaeologists search the waters of Poland and Germany. Was Vineta the Viking stronghold of Jomsborg, a lost city near Usedom Island? The mystery endures, but perhaps the exact location doesn't matter. Vineta's true treasure isn't gold or glory. It's the warning it carries across 1,000 years. That pride comes before the fall, that even the mightiest civilizations are just sandcastles before the eternal tide. And somewhere in the depths of the Baltic Sea, Vineta waits, reminding us that the ocean remembers everything. Beneath the dark waters of Cardigan Bay lies a kingdom. Number 6. This is the legend of Cantre'r Gwaelod, the Welsh Atlantis. Picture this. 1,500 years ago, when the Dark Ages gripped Europe, there flourished a kingdom that defied the very sea itself. Cantre'r Gwaelod, the Lowland Hundred, a realm of golden wheat fields and emerald pastures, all existing below sea level. Protected by massive stone dikes and bronze floodgates, this impossible kingdom was the Garden of Wales. King Gwydinn's realm stretched across what is now empty ocean, 16 country-feet of the most fertile land in Britain. Their fate rested in the hands of one man, Prince Cyndanin, keeper of the gates, a man who loved wine more than wisdom, revelry more than responsibility. While storm clouds gathered and ancient mechanisms cried out for repair, the prince feasted. To the realm that conquered the sea itself, he declared, but the sea does not forgive neglect. At 1:17 a.m., the first bronze gate failed catastrophically. The Irish Sea, held back for 1,000 years, rushed in with the fury of divine judgment. In one night, an entire civilization vanished, 100,000 souls gone. But legends never truly die. Fishermen say that on still nights, when the tide is low, you can still hear them. The church bells of Cantre'r Gwaelod tolling from beneath the waves. Today, marine archaeologists find pottery and tools on the seabed of Cardigan Bay. Rocky outcrops called Sarn Budrig, St. Patrick's Causeway, still emerge at low tide, exactly where legend says the great sea walls once stood. Was Cantre'r Gwaelod real? Perhaps the question misses the point. In an age of rising seas and climate change, this ancient Welsh warning feels prophetic. That nature demands respect, not conquest. That individual negligence can doom entire civilizations. That even the mightiest kingdoms are just temporary arrangements with the eternal tide. And somewhere beneath Cardigan Bay, Cantre'r Gwaelod waits, reminding us that the sea remembers everything. Off the rugged coast of Brittany lies a city of sin. Number 5. This is the legend of Yais, the Paris of the sea. Picture this. In the dark heart of the 5th century, when Rome was falling and Europe trembled, there rose a city more magnificent than any on earth. Yes, built below sea level in the Bay of Douarnenez, protected by massive dikes and a single bronze gate. King Gradlon ruled this impossible realm, where golden spires pierced the sky and wealth flowed like wine through marble streets. They called it the most beautiful city in all the world. But beauty can hide the darkest sins. For in Yais dwelt Gradlon's daughter, Princess Dahut, beautiful beyond measure, but corrupt beyond redemption. Dahut turned sacred Wis into a den of debauchery. Every night brought new lovers, new pleasures, new blasphemies against God himself. The city's bells, once calling faithful to prayer, now summoned sinners to revelry. But Sangenole warned King Gradlon, the sea will reclaim what was built in sin. The end came on a night of unholy celebration. As Dahut danced with her latest lover, the stranger whispered dark promises and stole the silver key to the great gate. With one turn of that key, the Atlantic rushed in to cleanse the city of its sins. King Gradlon fled on his magical horse, his daughter clinging behind him, but Sangenole cried out, "Cast off the demon, or you both shall drown." With breaking heart, the king pushed his daughter into the hungry waves. Dahut sank beneath the waters and became a mermaid, forever calling sailors to their doom. But the city's bells, they never stopped ringing. Breton fishermen say that when fog rolls across the Bay of Douarnenez, you can still hear them. The bells of Yais calling from the cathedral beneath the waves. Today, archaeologists search the depths of Finisterre. Roman ruins dot the Breton coast. Ancient settlements lie submerged where legend places mighty Yais. The city may be myth, but the warning is eternal. For Yais speaks to every age, every civilization that believes itself untouchable. That wealth without wisdom leads to ruin. That pride goes before the fall. And they say that Yais will rise again when Paris sinks beneath the waves. Until then, it waits in the depths, a jeweled grave, where beauty and corruption sleep together in the dark. Listen carefully on foggy nights off the Breton coast, and you might hear them calling the eternal bells of Yais. If you're enjoying the journey so far, comment "Wonderful." Hit subscribe to explore more ancient mysteries, legends, and mythical creatures. And stay with me, because we're heading to first civilization on Earth. Beneath the warm waters of the Indian Ocean lies a lost paradise. Number 4. Kumari Kandam, the Tamil Atlantis. Picture this. 10,000 years ago, when the world was young and the seas were lower, there stretched a vast continent south of India. Kumari Kandam, the virgin land. Here, the Tamil people built the first civilization on earth, where poetry was born and wisdom flowed like the sacred rivers. 49 kingdoms ruled this ancient realm, where the first Sangam, the great academy of Tamil poets, gathered to preserve the divine language. They say it was here that Agastya, the immortal sage, first taught humanity the arts of literature, astronomy, and medicine. But even paradise cannot escape the wheel of time. Not once, not twice, but 3 times the sea rose to reclaim Kumari Kandam. The first deluge swallowed 4,400 years of civilization. The second claimed another 3,700 years of accumulated wisdom. Each time, the Tamil people fled north, carrying fragments of their drowned culture to the mainland. The third and final flood was the cruelest of all. When the last ice age ended, the melting glaciers sent mountain-sized waves across the Indian Ocean. In a single day and night, so say the ancient texts, the last remnant of Kumari Kandam vanished beneath the waters, taking with it the third Sangam and treasures of wisdom beyond measure. Gone, an entire civilization, erased. But the Tamil people carried their memories north, weaving the story of their lost homeland into every poem, every prayer, every sacred verse. They say that beneath the waters of Cape Comorin, ancient temples still stand. That on certain nights when the moon is dark and the sea is calm, you can hear them. The voices of the drowned Sangam, still reciting poetry in the pristine Tamil tongue. Today, marine archaeologists search the waters of the Indian Ocean. Submerged structures of Pumpuhar and Mahabalipuram hint at civilizations claimed by rising seas. Could these be echoes of mighty Kumari Kandam? Myth or memory, legend or lost history? Perhaps Kumari Kandam represents something deeper, the Tamil soul's connection to the eternal ocean, the understanding that all civilizations are temporary islands in the infinite sea of time. For in Tamil philosophy, destruction and creation are one eternal dance. What the sea takes, it also gives. What is lost in one age may be found in another. And somewhere in the depths of the Indian Ocean, Kumari Kandam waits, where the first poets still sing, in the mother tongue of humanity. Beneath the vast Pacific lies the mother of all continents. Number 3. This is the legend of Mu, the lost empire of the Pacific. Picture this, 50,000 years ago, when humanity was still learning to dream, there stretched across the Pacific a continent larger than Asia, Mu, the motherland. Home to 64 million souls who built cities of crystal and stone, who spoke directly with the gods, and who called themselves the children of the sun. Colonel James Churchward claimed to have found their secret, sacred tablets hidden in a Tibetan monastery, written in the Nakal language of Mu. They spoke of an empire that stretched from Hawaii to Easter Island, from Fiji to the coast of South America, the first civilization, the source of all wisdom. But the children of the sun forgot their humility. As their crystal cities reached toward the heavens, as their technology bent the very elements to their will, the people of Mu grew proud. They began to see themselves not as children of the gods, but as gods themselves. The sacred tablets warned of cosmic punishment for such hubris. And the punishment was absolute. Not flood, but fire. Not gradual sinking, but cataclysmic destruction. The gas chambers beneath Mu exploded with the fury of 1,000 volcanoes. In a single day, an entire continent, larger than any existing landmass, cracked apart and plunged into the Pacific depths, taking 64 million souls into the abyss. Gone, the mother civilization, erased. Only scattered islands remained, lonely monuments to an empire that once ruled the Pacific like an inland sea. But the children of Mu had spread far before the end. Easter Island's mysterious statues gazing eternally seaward, the megalithic stones of Polynesia, the sacred sites of Hawaii, all of them remembering the motherland beneath the waves. Modern science finds no continent beneath the Pacific. The Ring of Fire tells a different story of volcanic islands and shifting plates. Yet indigenous peoples across the Pacific share remarkably similar flood myths, creation stories, and memories of a great homeland lost to the sea. Perhaps Mu represents something deeper than geology, the human need for origin, for a golden age when wisdom flowed freely and the gods walked among mortals. Or perhaps it represents our greatest fear, that no matter how advanced we become, how powerful our technology, how far our cities reach toward the sky, we remain fragile specks on a restless planet. One tremor, one eruption, one cosmic accident, and even empires can vanish without trace. And somewhere in the deepest trenches of the Pacific, where sunlight has never penetrated, the crystal cities of Mu wait in eternal darkness, reminding us that the ocean floor is humanity's largest graveyard. In the depths of the Indian Ocean, an ancient mystery sleeps. Number 2. This is the legend of Lemuria, the lost continent that science discovered and legend claimed. Imagine this. Millions of years ago, when the world was young and continents danced across the earth, there existed a vast land mass stretching from Madagascar to India. A bridge between worlds where strange creatures roamed lush forests and mighty rivers carved through primeval landscapes. In 1864, British zoologist Philip Sclater made a startling discovery. Lemurs, those ghostly primates with human-like hands, existed in Madagascar and India, but nowhere in between. How did they cross 3,000 miles of open ocean? His answer changed everything. Sclater proposed something extraordinary. What if there was no ocean to cross? What if a great continent once connected these distant shores? He called it Lemuria, after the lemurs that led him to this revelation. But the Earth is not eternal. 66 million years ago, the Deccan Traps erupted in a geological fury that reshaped the world. Continents split, oceans rushed in, and Lemuria was swallowed by the hungry sea. Gone, submerged, hidden beneath miles of crushing darkness. Today, marine geologists map the ocean floor with sonar and find something remarkable. Underwater ridges, submerged plateaus, the ghostly outlines of what once stood proud above the waves. Was Lemuria real? Perhaps Lemuria is not one story, but many. The geological truth of moving continents, the cultural memory of rising seas, the human need to believe that paradise once existed and might exist again. And somewhere beneath the Indian Ocean, where whale songs echo through cathedral depths and ancient ridges hold their secrets, Lemuria endures, not as land, but as possibility. A reminder that the earth keeps its mysteries and the ocean remembers all. Beyond the Pillars of Hercules lies the greatest mystery ever told. Number 1. This is Atlantis, the crown jewel of all lost civilizations. Picture this: Athens, 360 BCE. The greatest mind of the ancient world, Plato, sits in his academy and tells a story that will captivate humanity for over 2 millennia. A story of a civilization so advanced, so perfect, so mighty, it defied the gods themselves. Concentric rings of land and water connected by tunnels and bridges. A capital city where elephants roamed royal gardens and hot springs flowed from the earth itself. Warriors in chariots, philosophers in marble halls, engineers who commanded the very elements. But perfection, breeds arrogance. The Atlanteans grew corrupt. They abandoned virtue for conquest, wisdom for power. They launched mighty fleets against Athens itself, believing no force on earth could stop them. They forgot that Zeus was watching. In a single day and night of misfortune, the king of gods unleashed his wrath. Earthquakes shattered the earth. Tsunamis taller than mountains swept across the land. And Atlantis, the crown jewel of human achievement, vanished beneath the waves, gone forever, swallowed by an unforgiving sea. But was it real? For 24 centuries, that question has driven humanity to madness. Scholars, explorers, dreamers, all searching for proof of Plato's perfect civilization. But perhaps we've been asking the wrong question. Not where was Atlantis, but why does it matter? Because Atlantis is more than a place. It's humanity's perfect mirror. Our highest aspirations and darkest warnings, wrapped in a single immortal story. Every civilization that has risen and fallen, every empire that believed itself eternal, every moment when we've had to choose between wisdom and power. And in our age of climate change and rising seas, of technological power and moral questions, Atlantis speaks louder than ever. A reminder that no civilization, no matter how advanced, is beyond the reach of consequence. So let the archaeologists search the ocean floor. Let the dreamers chase their theories. The real Atlantis lives not beneath the waves, but in the human heart. An eternal reminder that true greatness lies not in power, but in the wisdom to use it well. And somewhere in the space between myth and memory, Plato's perfect city waits, teaching us still that some stories are too true to merely be fact. These stories span cultures, continents, and centuries, different names, same fate. Perhaps they're just myths, or perhaps they're warnings, because even the greatest civilizations can be washed away. If you found this journey through lost worlds captivating, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who loves ancient mysteries, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what lies beneath the surface. This is Luminarix,